wake up, Jacob. Got to wake up, Jacob.
Man for the youth man them, yeah. Bring out the scriptures them, yeah. Sing out the scriptures them, yeah. Fling out the scriptures them. Deuteronomy 28 are the curse. See them never read them, bro. Only chosen people, holiness.
I have put trust into my own people. When I say my own people, who I believe was the same Caribs and Arawaks or Israelites.
Native Indians, right? Can.
And they have done everything to also break it down.
Yes.
So when it comes into trust and trusting,
yes,
I could trust you to the level that I understand your capabilities or abilities are.
Right.
Nothing beyond that until you prove yourself accept.
Can. All praises.
And there's a scripture that says, thou shalt not lift the tongue against an Israelite.
That's right.
That is correct.
That's true.
You understand? He also says in Exodus 14:14, I will fight for you and you will hold your peace. You don't have to say anything. We don't beat up with nothing. You understand? But when you read the scripture, give me that again, brother Job or Obadiah. When we read Deuteronomy, in the curses, what we get that are upon us when we break the commandment, it has very specific things that's going to happen to us, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 15, and then give me verse 54.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe the commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee to take thee.
We as a people, right? The Israelites, if we neglect to keep the covenant that we made, which was to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, he said he's going to send curses upon us. Now give me verse 54. Let me see one of these curses and what it entails.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, and this is verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards
our eyes will be evil towards our brother. We're going to want to see our brother fail in everything he does, because this is a curse that's upon our people, the Hispanics, Native Indians, and the so-called Negro. We hate one another more than everybody else, because this is a direct correlation to us breaking the commandment. Hold that right there. Give me Leviticus 19, 17, and 18. Because if we keep this commandment, we wouldn't be a part of those curses anymore. That particular curse, right? What's this?
The book of Leviticus. This is chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
You shall not what?
Thou shalt hate thy brother in thy heart.
You shall not hate thy brother in thy heart. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not offer sin upon him.
We're supposed to correct our brothers and sisters and not allow them to sin. Read on.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
We shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, meaning people of our same ilk, our kinsman, according to the flesh. Right? Read on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Here he's clearly identifying who our neighbors are. Our neighbors, as an Israelite, are the so-called Hispanic, Native Indians, and the so-called Negro. They are our neighbors, not the other nations. He said we are not to avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of our people. It's a command. But when you go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 54, read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, and this is verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
His eye will be evil towards his brother.
And towards the wife of his bosom.
Towards the wife of his bosom.
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Love and not bear any grudge. Correct one another and not to avenge ourselves upon one another. But we do that because we hate God's commandments as a people. We never loved the commandments when we got them, even though they are for us to do. these commandments, we have to do it. But we neglect to do it, and when we break the commandments, the curses are upon us. Into captivity the way we went into captivity. Nobody else on the earth that happened to. Go ahead, Brother Aaron.
Can I ask, is it that
Sure.
is it possible the way we place judgment? Is it possible the way we place judgment against one another in the, I would say, in the context they break a law? Can that cause some of the major separation and hatred among one another?
You remember we were talking earlier about the sister who was caught in the midst of adultery. Held her, let the man go, but they didn't execute true judgment. This is something that has been going on in Israel all the time. So yes, you're quite right. We as a people do not execute true judgment until we come back to the law, because we have that propensity to hate one another. Correct it. We don't like it. Who you feel you is? Who you feel you could correct me as a big man? I know this Bible longer than you. Hey, bro. I know the Bible. But we have that haughty spirit upon our people.
Have you realized that the court of the government has taken the teachings of the Israelites and apply it so that they can pass judgment fairly, which was to give people a hearing. You know, they always arrest you, despite the catching the act. They still want to know the motive, right?
Right.
Because if you catch a man in an act, you don't have to send him to court. You send him to jail. But they send him through a court process because they want to know the motive behind the action.
For example,
so then penalty is based on the motive, and we as leaders or people in the Word of God, sometimes when it comes to dealing with people who have been committed an act or have a certain problem in life, we have never get to the bottom to find out the reason.
No.
You know, the first thing we tell people, you know. But you don't know the challenges people have to go through in life.
All right, cool. For example, two quick things, right? Can we use an excuse for sin?
No.
Right. So whatever reason, whatever instance they may be going through, they're not supposed to sin. Talk done, right?
Talk
nice. Now you talk about the court system. The motive in order to give you sentencing, right? That's what you said just now, right? But that's not the case. When our people are arrested in the act, right? They hold them. They put them through the system because the system makes money off of us as a people. That is why they put us through the system, because they could already sentence you one time, but they want to make you take money, now get your family members now to chum up money, to pay lawyer fee, to pay for bail, to get you out for a couple of weeks, for you to get sentenced and go right back in the system that they were supposed to pay in the first place.
You're correct.
Money. Watch this. Give me the book of Isaiah 42 and 22.
No, but before you go to there, because you're correct in the carnal world, but the same Messiah who stand in the gap for that woman, right, and identify where they was using wrongful judgment, right, in case like this, that they had to leave the woman alone, right? So it come back almost to the same thing. So we sometimes, when we're dealing with spiritual things, we need to get deeper into spiritual than just what we see on the surface, because the law is for lawbreakers, eh? And let's tell people this. Law is for lawless. I believe that in my heart. Law is for lawless.
So somebody who doesn't break the law,
they're upholding.
they do what?
They're upholding the principles of God.
The law. You understand? Let me make it simple for you. The law is there, right? It's for the lawless, right? pathway to go, yes? But the righteous, meaning the law keepers, they are already keeping the law because they know it.
So you don't believe before the written law was given, man know what's right from wrong?
Before the law was codified and written down and given to Moses, the law was passed down orally. They taught it to their children. They told them. They spoke it to them.
Right.
Because Abraham kept the laws. You understand? Adam in the garden and Abel were there. They had the law. Noah had the law.
He know he did something wrong, so he left. So again,
it was there. The law was passed down orally from them from the beginning.
All right.
You understand? You want to say the law was in their heart. The law was passed down to them. Baby don't be born knowing that I is a baby. The baby just born, they don't know what's going on. They have to be taught. Right? And watch this real quick. The judicial system today, a person of East Indian, Chinese, Orient, whatever other denomination or race they are charged differently or sentenced differently from a so-called black or Hispanic man for the same crime. A black man for killing a dog might get 25 years.
32 years.
They go get community service because they didn't mean to do it. Because we have proof of these things. They can look for this all over the place. Isaiah 42:22.
Isaiah chapter 42 verse 22.
Read.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
People robbed and spoiled. Read.
All of them snared in holes.
Snared in holes.
In prison houses.
Have songs about it. 95% black and 5% white in jail.
95% black and 5% white in jails. 95% black and 5% white in jails. And try to remember the days of slavery. 95% black and 5% white in jails. 95% black and 5% white in jails. Remember, say life in a jailhouse not sweet. 95% black and 5% white in jails. 95% black and 5% white in jails. My brothers in jail can't get no bail. Whoa, whoa. No matter what they said, righteousness must prevail. Yeah.
Why they would sing something like that? Because it's true, right, brother Obadiah?
Therefore, I pray.
Pray, meaning everybody takes advantage of them. Go ahead.
Deliver it.
He's going to deliver them. Read.
Spoil.
Therefore, is spoiled because they make all their merchandise off of our people. Go ahead.
Unsaid, restore.
Going to say, let us give these people, the Israelites, the children of God, let us give them back their heritage. Let's give them back their identity. Let's give them back their name. Let's tell them the truth about what we have done. Nobody is going to do that. None say it restore. Brother, do you think that they're going to give our people reparations?
Yeah.
Ever? Reparations?
Yeah.
We will receive reparations on this earth.
What?
The Most High is going to give us reparations.
Let me share this with you. We based on we are not in our homeland. And when you are in another man's land, they're entitled to do you as they please.
As you please, right?
So whereas now, I will love to communicate with my family based on Israelite in the original land so that I can have a fair understanding of their lifestyle now. Because one of the things we do when we bring in the word, because of our enslaved lifestyle, based on the part of the world we are, we relate in this manner, because I had always want to let people understand it, because for me, I know originally my forefathers not from here, but while I'm here, I need to make use of what God has put for me, and within that, I need to build my kingdom, and people fail to understand this. All of us are kings. Every man a king, and this
every Israelite man a king.
Right. Well, I put it like this: Israelite men are kings,
Yeah.
and all of us need to develop our kingdoms, which represent our home. The place that you choose to build your kingdom will be the outcome of your struggles in life. So if you choose your locations wisely, you will be able to bring more peace among your family and servants. You put it like that.
Right. For example, right? Tell us real quick. You ever heard about Jacob's trouble?
Yeah.
Come still?
Well, Jacob went through his struggle, but we may have the same experience.
So there is a time that's going to be known as Jacob's trouble, the struggle and the tribulation of the Israelites in the last days. That hasn't come yet. Our people want to build a kingdom in the midst of Esau's kingdom. They're not going to allow that. That ain't happening.
President Biden is expected to visit tomorrow. He's calling on Americans to reflect on the deep roots of racial terror and recommit to the work of rooting out systemic racism across our country. He'll meet with surviving members of the community like Viola Fletcher.
I hear the screams. I have lived through the massacre every day.
Ms. Fletcher testified in front of Congress this month as part of a lawsuit against the city of Tulsa and others for the estimated $1.8 million in property loss claims back then. No one was ever punished or held accountable for the massacre, stemming from allegations that were never proven that a black man assaulted a white woman in an elevator.
The survivors never received any type of reparations. They never received any type of benefit.
Senator Chris Coons saying their actions are responsible for the nationwide attention today.
This whole country is focused today on what happened here a century ago. And you have made that happen. You have helped this ground speak. You have helped this broken, painful, brutal history speak.
And today, the mayor of Tulsa, G.T. Bynum, apologized for the 1921 race massacre.
Kingdom has to end in order for another to come. This will be living.
Listen again. I strongly understand the context, the direction you're going. But I want to strongly encourage people to have a relationship with God and make yourself comfortable here until that time comes. I am not encouraging people to be stressed over what's going on outside. The Spirit of the Most High share with me. Though the mountain may seem that it's going into the sea, I must know who God is. And no matter all the challenge that comes my way, and all the people, I must find a happiness and a peace within myself with God. So what I will do, I will separate myself as much as possible out of the worldly system where they are controlling me. Like, for example, I try my best to take myself out of the government system as much as possible. Right? I eliminate most of my activities with the government so that they don't have that big control over me. I try my best. Right? And I am still trying to find more loopholes how to get away from the system. And the more I could get away from the system, the more happy I am. I hardly go on my phone to see all the troubles going on in the world. That is not my business. Right?
So were we commanded to watch the times?
Pardon?
Watch the times?
Break it down in a different way, I understand.
As the Messiah. We to know which seal we're in or when we getting closer to the end of times and the return of the Messiah. Watch so we will know what's going on in the...
Based on, I don't know if I have it correct, but you're going to know if I have it, if I'm on point. based on what the Spirit of the Lord has showed me. He said, wars, rumor of wars and pestilence and all these things will happen.
Right.
And he said,
so when we going to know when these things are about if you don't watch the news?
My brother, that is how look at talking to you, so you will keep me up to date, bro. Let me try to I'm not going through that. I cannot handle that stress.
Hey, my brother, you see, here's what our people don't understand. When we see these things, that these things happening on the earth is for our redemption. When we see destruction taking place in the earth, we're not supposed to be angry. We're not supposed to be afraid.
Prophecy fulfilling.
For us, prophecies are being fulfilled. Watch this real quick. Give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, and start at verse 3 for me.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 3. I'm the Lord thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior.
The Holy One of Israel. Read.
I gave Egypt for thy ransom.
I gave Egypt for your ransom.
Ethiopia and Seba for thee.
Go ahead.
Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee.
He said, I will give men for you, Israelites. Read.
And people for thy life.
He's going to kill people for us. Now give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. Let's wrap it all up. Because the destruction that's taking place is the beginnings of our salvation. Watch this.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. Of thy people was accepted salvation of the righteous and destruction.
Salvation of the righteous and the what?
And destruction of the enemies.
We have to accept that with our salvation comes the destruction of our enemies. This is what we see on the earth. When you see China getting flooded out in 3 days, Germany, all these people are our enemies. America is fire, burning down the place. Wars and rumors of wars. Israel firing missiles into Lebanon, Lebanon firing back, bombing up Syria. All these things on the earth. The trial and tribulation and great death. These people have to die in order for us to be redeemed. So we rejoice when we see famines hitting the earth. Killing old villages. Riots, wars, rumors of wars, missile dropping. Hey, these things are how we know our salvation right now. But he says, on your right side and 10,000 on your left. But no trouble shall come nigh thee. This is the faith we have in the Most High. So when we see all the destruction, coronavirus right here in China, people dropping like flies, so they say, we could kill less. We could kill less. Go ahead, brother Obadiah.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 1.
Read.
Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia.
Woe unto thee, Babylon. When we know the word woe goes back to destruction, death. Read.
Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria.
Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Go ahead.
Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack, and here bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Drop down to verse 37 for me.
Verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack.
He said, behold, the plagues draw nigh, meaning near, and they are not slack, meaning they're not going to let up. Read on.
As when a woman with child is in the 9th month, bringeth forth her son. Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth. A moment.
A woman going into labor, and you know, it will start off 3 hours apart contraction, drop down to 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Pain. It have no break between the pain when the child coming out, right? It said it's not going on slack a moment. So we're seeing things starting to speed up now, coming down to the just pain alone. Read on.
Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
What?
And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Every side, read on.
O my people,
Yeah,
hear my word. O my people, hear my word.
Oh my people, who are the people of the Lord? The Israelites. Oh my people, hear my word. Read.
Make you ready to the battle.
You ready to the battle. Prepare for the battle that's about to come upon the face of the earth. That trial and tribulation and that great death. Read on.
And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
He said, in all these perils, all this evil, all this destruction, be ye as a pilgrim upon the earth. Anybody ever see somebody go and make pilgrimage to another land? Anybody ever see it? Do they worry about the house that they have back in the home? Or they just solely focus on doing the rights that they have to do? They put on minimum clothes, they eat minimum food. He said, be ye as pilgrims upon the earth in these times. You can't be worried about, if I take this vaccine, I can't work. I take this vaccine to eat. Hey, bro. Leave these things alone. Leave these things. You just consider what you have to do to be right with the Most High. That's it. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. This is what he's telling us. These troubles go and come on the earth. Get yourself ready for the battle. Prepare your spirit for the things that are going to come on the earth. Don't worry about anything. Be as a pilgrim upon the earth. You understand, brothers? 41.
41. He that selleth is he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth as one that will lose.
Even though you're occupied in business, don't be always looking to sell the, like, we have to flee from a place, right? You trying to sell the last bag of cement in your hardware before you leave and flee to the mountains or wherever you flee. He said, they that buy and sell, flee as if you will not make a profit. Leave what you have to leave behind and get out. Read on.
Verse 42. Buyeth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it.
That you're gonna get no profit from it. Just leave it and go. Even in the New Testament, the Messiah tell you that when you see Jerusalem shall be compassed with armies, he that is in the field, don't return back to the city. Who is up on the roof, don't come off the roof to go into your house for anything. Just flee to the mountains. It's the same thing being said there. Go ahead, brother, over there. You were saying?
And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
You're building a house. Like, hey, be like you're not going to live inside of there, because we don't know when that will come first.
He that soweth as if he should not reap.
As if he should not reap. We're not supposed to be focused on these things. This is what it's basically telling us. On business and merchandise and getting great gain in these times, because we know these days are evil. Go ahead.
He that also he that planted the vineyard that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widower.
Right.
And
we're not supposed to be occupied in these things. Well,
and therefore they that labor in vain.
And they that labor in vain. You're doing things, yes, you're going through the motions, but you're ready to go when the Most High calls. You're not focused on these things. You're not putting your eggs in this basket saying, well, hey, as our ancestors did. When they were redeemed and went into the wilderness, say, hey, when we was in Egypt, we used to have flesh and the plenty, We want meat. We just surround by the flesh pots and eat to our fill. This is what we have to get out of our system. Be ye separate. We have to come out from this place on a spiritual level in preparation for the physical level. Right? Go ahead.
For strangers shall reap their fruits, spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives.
Go ahead.
for in captivity and famine shall they get children.
We have to be prepared for all these things upon the earth. It has no two ways about it. You understand? All praises to the Most High. Brother Arian, any other questions?
I have a question for Arian.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the past hours or so he was on this.
You know they buy, you don't lie, look at the signs all the time. Got to make them wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation. Wake up, Israel people, got to wake up. Wake up and stay strong.
Hey, wake up, Jacob. Hey, wake up, Jacob. Got to wake up, Jacob.
Chant for the youth man, them, yeah. Bring out the scriptures, them, yeah. Sing out the scriptures, them, yeah. Fling out the scriptures, them. Deuteronomy 28 are the curse. See them never read them verse in the church. Tell the pastor, heaven on a place on a bastard. Done me, them. Remember them time when we used to go to church with a heavy double mind. But now me know the truth, so me telling you, but them not telling you. Wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation. Wake up, Israel people, got to wake up. Wake up and stay strong.
Hey, wake up, Jacob. Hey, wake up, Jacob. Got to wake up, Jacob.
Them never know me coulda pull them script. Make your pastor sweat on top the pulpit. Them don't care about nothing about them tight basket. And my people suffer on the outside. I say, oh yeah. We did read about them in the book of Isaiah. 56 about 10, taking notes one time with a pen. Tell your truth, cause we just can't pretend. Make a black man repent with a real doctrine. Free doctrine, yeah, this not a church thing. No money spent, see we have a little message to record and send. See them laws what we keeping it is more than 10. Never descend from Ham, we did descend from Shem. We not no African man, we are the Israelite men. Wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation. Wake up, Israel people, got to wake up. Wake up and stay strong.
Hey, wake up, Jacob. Hey,
wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation. Wake up, Israel people, got to wake up. Wake up and stay strong.
Hey, wake up, Jacob. Hey, wake up, Jacob. Got to wake up, Jacob.
Wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation. Wake up, Israel people, got to wake up. Wake up and stay strong.
Hey, wake up, Jacob. Hey, wake up, Jacob. Got to wake up, Jacob.
Wake up, my brother. Are the only chosen people, holy nation.